great day to be alive in the Lord, sharing the good news.
Amen. Amen. Get back, devil.
That's it.
I tell you what, I'm going to really make you mad now because I'm going to turn you over to the audience out there, the listening audience, so that you can give us the good news this morning. So here he is, Pastor Mark Burris with Christ in Action. Pastor, you got it.
All right, indeed, delighted to be sharing the good news this morning that the Lord Jesus Christ, in order to save us, in order to save the day, because of love, he put himself in harm's way. Not only did he put himself in harm's way, but he allowed himself to be harmed. He said, no mistake about it. He said, no man takes my life. I lay it down willingly. Having described for us in St. John 15, how that there is no greater love than a man would lay down his life for a friend. He then began to prove it, and did prove it, by laying his life down for us and taking it up again. And in doing so, he was being delivered up, Romans chapter 4, verse 25, for our offenses, and raised again for our justification, to reconcile us and bring us back to God. Well, community, that's what we're talking about this month. And the importance of community, God's concept for community, how we walk a community out, the value of community, how to live in community. And that is so key for us as the days are now, as we deal with the parameters of this pandemic and us having to conduct ourselves socially in a way such that we both protect ourselves and protect others, and of course, ultimately relying upon our God as our ultimate protector, as we live in his secret place and abide under his shadow, as it is declared in Psalms 91. That having been said, given the nature of our world and the way we communicate, our increasing reliance upon virtual things and social media, being aware of community and the importance of community is so key for us, because we don't want to become more and more disconnected, but rather we want to live connected lives. And so we've been talking about that first and foremost when it comes to our understanding, for instance, of assembling and the church. We are encouraged in Hebrews chapter 10 to consider one another, to provoke to love and good works, and to not forsake to assemble ourselves, and to do it even the more as we see the day approaching, the day of the Lord, the day of the end of all things. I believe he tells us to do that because of what we're seeing around us and what we have been seeing even more in a pronounced way in the last couple of years. The very things that Jesus talked about, if we are not aware and alert, our hearts can fail us for fear, for looking for the things that are coming upon the earth. And we can begin to retreat and close ourselves off and draw back unto ourselves and within ourselves. So I want to, in Acts chapter 17, these are some things we shared in the gathering yesterday, and we're going to be sharing from these things all month. Acts chapter 17 and verse 24, we're encouraged to know that the God who made all things does not dwell in temples made with men's hands. That's a simple statement of truth, but it's so important for us to understand, where then does God dwell? Where does he live? Well, of course, from a present standpoint, his throne is in heaven, the third heaven, the heavens above the heavens that we can see. That's where his throne is and where he resides. However, he is omnipresent, unbounded in presence, because he is a spirit. And therefore, there is no place that we can go that he is not. However, the Apostle Paul encourages us to know in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and again in 2 Corinthians chapter 6 that our bodies are the dwelling place of God, that we are the temple of God. That's key for us during this time to understand that though we may be constrained physically and how we come together, that a building is not the dwelling place of God. We are. God comes where we are. Jesus himself said that wherever two or three of you are gathered in my name, I'm right there in the midst with you. And so there is something, of course, that happens when brethren come together in unity and one accord together. There is a blessing in togetherness, and he has promised he will be there. However, that being said, he is there because we are there, because he is in us and he is wherever we are. Man, that is so key for us to see and understand in these last days and times that we're in, that God is in us. That's the simple message, is that God is in us. And as we understand this, we realize that as he lives in us, he lives in me, he lives in you. We're connected, and we are a community because of who it is that indwells and lives in us. You see, friend, you are the God. You are the one that God made, that he might indwell you. That's what happened in Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7. Man was formed, mankind, out of the dust of the ground, and God breathed into man the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And so God invested himself in the clay that he had formed and brought it to life. That's what makes us living and active and alive. It is that God lives and dwells in us, not in buildings, not in symbols and things that we make and form. We develop and build things to meet with God, for God to meet us in that place as we gather for his purposes. And I say meet us, it is because we come together in a meeting place. But I want you to know, I want just simply to focus as we talk about community on this truth, that God lives in each one of us. You know what that means? That means whatever God is doing, he's doing in you. He's doing in me. He's doing in us. We're told in Philippians chapter 2 and verse 13, it is God who works in you, me, every one of us, both to will and to do of his good pleasure. So then what that means is that when you look at your hands and you see these little tiny indentions and patterns on the ends of your fingers, they're called fingerprints. And these are unique identifiers that you are registered in databases to be able to track. Your fingerprints are evidence of your presence. And so then what that says is that God has given you a unique set of fingerprints, such that when your hands are involved and when you touch things, nobody leaves an imprint like you. The signs of your presence and your hands upon something are unique. Why do you think God did that? So that we as a community would all be together, have a hands-on approach. There is a naval term that says all hands on deck. What that means is everybody with hands, let's get up here and let's help and let's handle what's in front of us. That's what we need in our hour, in our day, in our time. We need it. We need it in our homes. We need it in our neighborhoods. We need it in our communities. We need it in our city, our churches. We need it in all of our institutions, our families. We need all hands on deck, because God has given you a set of fingerprints that are needed and necessary to touch this world the way he intends for it to be touched. I can't do it like you can do it. You can't do it like I can do it. I don't have your fingerprints and you don't have mine. Let me ask you this question. Where are your fingerprints today? Are your fingerprints involved to be the difference that makes the difference in this world? Friend, that's community. It's all of us together, understanding how God has made us, valuing how he made us, valuing one another, and carrying out his will and purposes in this world. This has been an outreach of Connected Church. Connect with us, connected-church.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You're going to find these and other encouraging Words coming to you, of course, right here through the Gospel Explosion family about the love that God has for you, the identity that you have in him, that your faith might be firmly fixed in the truth that we are the difference that makes the difference that God planned and intended. We desire and the world needs as we awaken to his purpose of knowing him and his love for us, mobilize his mission of making him known and sharing his love with others. That's good news on this marvelous Monday morning.
All right, Pastor. Man, we appreciate you. Man, we're gonna beat this gentleman yet. Yeah, we are. And I tell you, we just appreciate you. Look forward to hearing you again with another Christ in Action broadcast.
Yes, sir. Blessings on you and the Gospel Explosion family. Keep on keeping on. Lord willing, we'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Hey, let your hands be involved today because God is in you. You are the difference. And your contribution is unique. It's God designed. It's God given. We need it. You need it. God has planned it. We'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.